We are back with our midweek NFL DFS update, and we are tweaking yesterday's pool based on ownership shifts and fresh news. So let's walk through what changed and what stayed locked. We anchored yesterday around Jalen Hurts, but we are pivoting at quarterback to Baker Mayfield at 6,400 with a dash rank of 100 against New Orleans, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 23, projected for 20, which matches his 20 per game, with a rolling trend of 30, 20, and 12. And at 31.7% ownership, he will be chalky. But we are good eating it in cash and building leverage elsewhere in tournaments, because the projection is stable and reliable with his starts, and the news context supports a bounce back after Monday's rough outing, with essentially sports noting he's been putting up MVP numbers this season despite that loss, and also calling out the officiating frustration and a dip in a Week 8 QB ranking, which actually helps our game theory by tamping down enthusiasm for ceiling, while the matchup stays favorable. If you still need the deep punt we discussed yesterday, we are keeping Dylan Gabriel at 4,200 in the pool versus New England, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall at opponent rank 10, projected 14 with recent 16, 9, and 6, and the Y has not changed. He just got that first home win per multiple reports, and essentially, sports highlighted that gritty first start at home. But projections remain unreliable, since he has not started more than 3 games, so this is pure salary relief with near zero ownership for large fields. At running back, we are shifting off the pricey Jonathan Taylor call from yesterday and prioritizing Cam Scatabo at 6,600 with a dash rank of 100 against Philadelphia, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall at opponent rank 19, projected 14 with strong recent outputs of 31, 18, and 15, and the Y is concentrated touches and red zone involvement at a more efficient salary. Plus, the news flow is bullish, with coverage pointing out the rookie duo with Jackson Dart, rolling versus the Eagles earlier this season, and multiple outlets highlighting Scatabo's hot start, so we can bank the usage while the field is largely ignoring him midweek. For large field salary relief only, Rasheen Ali sits as a true dart on the slate against Chicago, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 25, and while he has yet to record fantasy points in the game logs, that is exactly why he functions as leverage. But we are treating this as a tiny exposure play. Nothing more wide receiver is unchanged at the top. We are staying on Jamar Chase at 8,100 with a dash rank of 100 against the Jets, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 24, projected 19 with a rolling heater of 41, 25, and 32, and the Y is alpha volume plus explosive after catch profile that can break slates regardless of quarterback musical chairs, which the news has underscored, and he just matched a Jimmy Smith-level accomplishment per recent coverage. So we are happy to stay overweight while ownership remains near zero. Midweek, our value receiver also stays the same. Marvin Mims Jr. at 3,900 versus Dallas, who have the absolute worst defense overall at opponent rank 32, projected 7 with recent 16, 5, and 4, and this remains a classic A-dot leverage bet on 2 deep connections against the absolute worst defense overall, with the sporting news having him on sleeper lists and the field ignoring him, so we keep the tournament exposure. Tight end is where we are making a clear change, moving from Kyle Pitts to Tyler Warren at 5,500 with a dash rank of 100 against Tennessee, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 22, projected 13 with a steady 17, 18, and 14 in his last 3, and the Y is roll stability plus early season usage that the news keeps confirming, with pieces noting no one has started better, that he led the Colts in catches in his debut, and that he continues to pop as a rookie contributor, so we are buying the consistency at low ownership. If you need a true punt, Jeremy Ruckert at 2,500 versus Cincinnati, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 30, projects thin at 2, but comes in with virtually no ownership and just needs a red zone look to pay off in large fields. Flexes a pivot from yesterday's Bijan stance to A.J. Brown at 6,100 with a dash rank of 100 against the Giants, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 29, projected 14 with recent 31, 14, and 9. And the why is simple: elite talent at a friendly tag in a soft overall matchup. And the news drumbeat has us confident he is staying put in Philly, despite rumor churn, with reports noting the team is not expected to move him and a fiery social post after the Vikings game suggesting the extra motivation we like to chase at low ownership. Defense shifts from our Falcons lean to Texans D at 3,000 against San Francisco, who have one of the worst defenses overall at opponent rank 20, with recent defensive outputs of 14, 11, and 3 and a modest 5.7% ownership. And the why is price-adjusted path to sacks and turnovers in a spot where we can still get there without being on a chalky unit. If you must punt, Giants D at 2,100 versus Philadelphia, who have a tough defense overall at opponent rank 9, is purely a salary saver to unlock studs. And we would not pair it with A.J. Brown, but it fits lineups that fade the Eagles' passing attack. Quick recap of changes and holds. We pivoted from Hurts to Baker Mayfield because the matchup is favorable, the projection is solid, and we can gain leverage at other spots while accepting the chalk at quarterback. We moved from Jonathan Taylor to Cam Scatterbo for salary efficiency and usage while the field sleeps. We kept Jamar Chase and Marvin Mims Jr. due to elite ceiling and the absolute worst defense overall matchup for Mims. We upgraded tight end to Tyler Warren on roll and matchup. We shifted flex to A.J. Brown for price-adjusted upside against one of the worst defenses overall, and we slid to Texans D to stay off heavier ownership while preserving recent scoring form. We will monitor ownership into the weekend, but as of midweek, this mix balances chalk where it is justified with contrarian leverage, plays that can separate in tournaments. And the news cycle around Mayfield's MVP chatter, plus Warren's breakout trajectory, only strengthens the why behind these moves.